So hello and welcome to Soul-Reconnection. My name is Maitreya, your trusted astrologer, to make sure that you can get through these energies like a boss. Okay, I can't do that properly, but Cardi B, don't sue me. Like you're in these streets, and yeah, I ain't got money like that. But I'm here to talk to you all about Jupiter retrograde. What is it all about? Like, what is it that we should have been focusing on? Jupiter comes out of retrograde tomorrow. So Jupiter went retrograde in Sagittarius on the 10th of April. So back in Taurus season, and it is coming out of retrograde on tomorrow, which is the 11th of August 2019. Okay, and this was a 4-month retrograde, and this, I loved this energy. Like, it was so beautiful. Like, Jupiter's in its home sign. Jupiter is in itself is a very expansive planet. It's a very expansive energy. It is you know, it's, especially when it goes retrograde, this is where we're taking time to prepare when it goes direct to be able to come into an energy of abundance and to come into an energy of clarity and, you know, really having that all together. So I'm going to go through it a bit deeper and unravel what was this retrograde trying to teach us. You know, especially as we're going direct tomorrow, so the energy is going to shift up again. So Jupiter, it represents how we seek to grow ourselves and how we seek to improve ourselves, how we seek to evolve. Jupiter is a very it's a planet of evolution, so it brings it's not, so Jupiter retrograde is not like, or the planet Jupiter is very similar to Mercury, but it's not the same. Like, they have their differences. And if we put it down to the signs, so you've got Gemini, that is, it's Gemini and Sagittarius are opposite on the axis. So Gemini is all about the thoughts, but these are the thoughts that are gathered through your experience. And when you come over into Sagittarius, it now can make sense of these experiences and being able to really collect the fullness of what that experience was supposed to mean and put you on a platform to be able to move to another level of your understanding of your experiences. That's how that axis works. So Jupiter is a more expansive energy with in terms of the thoughts that we're going to be having. It's much more on a spiritual level. And this is all about how we learn to trust ourselves. Like Sagittarius, it can take those leaps of faith. It can just, you know, it's like ready to go. It's that fire energy, and it's just like, yeah, I'm off, I'm good. You know, I believe that, like, I can achieve. Like, I believe that I can, you know, I can. Whatever I set my mind to, I can do it. Like, there's no boundaries. What is a boundary? You know, so Jupiter, again, it's all about the evolution of our thoughts. But the desires that are represented by Jupiter is the urge to want to create, connect to something much greater than yourself, something much bigger than yourself. But I don't like to use that phrase. I only use this publicly, because just so that people can understand exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't like to see as anything as greater than me, because there isn't anything greater than me, because everything is a part of myself. And this is one of the understandings that I came to when I begun my transition out of Christianity, because I started to think to myself, okay, so when we're talking about the image of God, is it a hierarchy? Is it a reflection, or is it a hierarchy? And we're often given this perspective that God is a hierarchy. You know, God is higher than you. There's always something higher than you. But it's just a direct reflection. So there is none higher, there is none lower, everything just is. But you're beginning to tap deeper into what that is. You connect, whatever you call it. The word doesn't even mean anything. You could call it God, you could call it Allah, you could call it Buddha, you could call it higher self, you could call it source, you can call it most high. It doesn't matter what you call it. We're all connecting to the same thing. We're just trying to find different ways to be able to put that the name on it or the label on it. But the fact of the matter is, first it's being able to understand what that means for you, and then learning how to define that. I'm not a Christian, so I'm not a Christian anymore, but I do like to use Bible references because that's something that I was exposed to. That's something that I understand a bit well. So you may see me throw in a bit more kind of Bible references, just so that that understanding is there. I believe that the Bible is just stories of allegory and parables. Just, it was all metaphoric, and it's all for us to be able to unravel it and see what was it actually metaphysically talking about. So now I'm going to move into another one. So this is why God told Adam, or gave the commandment or the ability to be able to name the animals, because he was able to understand from his perspective what his reality was, and he had the opportunity to be able to define these animals by giving it a name. So he himself was playing God, you know, defining his creation. So I just wanted to bring that up. But it's about tapping into something greater and learning how to define it for yourself without the influence of the other people. A lot of people have been going through their awakening journey. So there's a lot of paradigms that's been breaking. That's, you know, where I am now, I never thought I would be a few years ago. Like, that was just like, whoa. But you know, the moment that my progressed, all my moon and my rising sign moved into Sagittarius, I was just like, yo, I'm ready to go. And I feel like this is what's been impacting me with this Jupiter retrograde, as that's been activated right now. So, like, it's all about taking these leaps of faith, and it's all about understanding the needs that are represented by Jupiter is your need for faith, your need to be confident, to be able to take these leaps, to take these jumps, to, you know, because if you don't have any foundation or something to connect with, what is there to live for? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you often find yourself lost. We're always seeking something. But when you realize that everything that you're seeking is inside of yourself, there's nothing more to seek anymore. You know, so I just hooked you onto some games. Please pay attention. So yeah, it's all about improvements. How do you improve your life? If you find that your Jupiter is the planet of abundance and fortune, and if you find that you're not in a place where you're feeling abundant, what is it that you need to do to improve yourself to get to that place? So this is why Jupiter is also related to higher education. So being able to, you know, go and study, give yourself the skills that you need to be able to be affirmed on that level, to deserve that level of abundance, you know, because once you do that hard work, and this is what Saturn retrograde was about, and I'm going to do a separate video about that. You'll catch that probably after this video, but it's all about what hard work are you willing to put in to make sure that you can improve your circumstances. This is something you need to think about because, and I'm going to go more into this in the Saturn retrograde video, but time is not on our hands. Like, I'm sure a lot of us are feeling that sense of urgency, that time is running out, and yet it is. So, you know, these improvements need to come in now so that we can just get to where we need to get to in this 2020 quantum leap, as it's a leap year. You know, you don't want to get left behind, because I can promise you, you will, if you're not in alignment with these energies right now. So the archetype of Jupiter is related to our desire to grow and progress, and it's all about our philosophical understandings of our experiences, our aspirations. It's about us being able to search for meaning, searching for significance. Like, once you find what's significant to you, like, nothing can shake you, because you're now selectively focusing on what you need to focus on, what you value as being significant. You know, you're not wasting your time. So Jupiter, it rules the sign of both Sagittarius and Pisces. This isn't one of its ancient rulers. So this energy is gonna be very beautiful in itself. Like, Pisces is very loving. It's all about feeling fulfilled in your spiritual beliefs, your spiritual reality. Like, Pisces is literally a completely different realm. It is the spiritual realm, it is the astral realm, and it's you being fully fulfilled in your ability to feel connected to your higher self. And Jupiter, I look at as the voice of the higher self, the ability to integrate your the wisdom of your higher self from Pisces in Jupiter, or Sagittarius, where it's given in a way that can inspire people collectively, because Jupiter is a social planet. It's more of a social planet. So it is the seeker. And with Jupiter retrograde, you're being triggered to seek for themes. And it's important, I have to say this again, not to search for anything outside of yourself, because anything that you understand, once you begin to understand what's inside of yourself, anything that's outside will become a reflection, a direct reflection. But if you don't know what is inside, you won't know what it is that's reflecting back at you. So you could actually get into an argument with someone, a big argument, and blame them, and then not realize that you're actually exactly the same people, reflecting the same things back at each other. Never thought of that. Now, this is something I've had to be dealing with as well. So trust me, I ain't judging no one. Like, this is real life. We're all going through the journey. You know, we're all just trying to figure out ways how to get through. So it marks as, again, the journey of a time to explore your inner realms, go on a journey of exploring your inner realms, and then come into a place of self-realization where you begin to realize many things about yourself. And this period is all about reinvention, especially in these last two weeks. It's just been like, whoa, like, what this should have been like, especially with Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde and all the retrogrades that's been coming in, it's like the role that you've been playing, and Mercury in Leo as well, the role that you've been playing, the role that you've been expressing to everyone, you know, like it's time for us to evaluate what's real to us, because what is real to us may not be something that's real to someone else, or may not be something that resonates with someone else. And one of the realizations that I came to was that I remembered that as a younger child, I said I didn't actually want to be a musician. I said I would want to be an artist, but because I came from a musical family, a respected musical family, that's something that was expected of me because of and especially how I launched into music. I mean, I tried to study music in college and uni. I've been doing music since I was 16, like professionally, performing in many different places across the world. Like, I've been doing this, and it's something that I enjoyed. But what broke my paradigm is when Jupiter went into Sagittarius, and I had to begin to explore what is real to me. Sorry, when Saturn went into Sagittarius, and I had to begin to explore what was real to me. Like, what is it that I believed? Like, not what people were projecting to me. Like, what makes sense to me? Because I felt myself going on autopilot, and everyone else was living life for me, and I didn't really know what was for me. So I had to go on that journey, and this is what sparked it. And then you begin to come into this greater awareness of yourself that nobody can ever take from you. Like, when you really know who you are, it's like your whole life transforms, because you bring that energy into everything. Like, it's like you're fully integrated, and that's what soul reconnection is all about. It's about being fully integrated into your soul, into your into your divine purpose, into everything that you're meant to be doing. Like, it's just soul embodiment, like fully being present. And for those that are on the intuitive chakra healing course, you can also still get that. Purchase it off my website, as we're on the first week on the root chakra. This is where we're really focusing about being present in our physical reality, and that's what Saturn retrograde is bringing to us. And as I said, I'll go into that in depth in Saturn retrograde video. But we're beginning to realize our potential and what is it that we can offer the world. Like, we have so much to offer the world, and the world is just waiting for us to give it. And especially as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and Uranus retrograde is coming, I believe, on the 11th. Wait, Uranus retrograde is today. Hold on, let me check this. Uranus retrograde starts in 2 days, which is on the, oh gosh, on the 12th, which is on Monday, the 12th of August. Like, this is setting us up for 2020, and not only for 2020, for the new age that we're moving into. I don't know if you've got the memo. Reality has changed. Reality is no longer the same, and we need to get with the program right now. And I'm going to be doing some videos on this, especially for those that are, I'm going to be careful of how much I say, because I don't want to release too much too soon. But just know that there's so much that's coming, especially, and I want to really speak to those that are in business as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm keeping it strong at the moment. But we need to get with the program. Things has changed. Like, reality has changed. Social media has changed. Like, everything is changing. And that's what Uranus retrograde is going to do. And it's about us being able to find our own sense of identity within these changes, because there's no ground. Like, the ground is being ripped from beneath our feet. Our foundations have been reset, like Saturn in Capricorn. Like, this is a new cycle that's been set, but we need to understand what cycle is it that we're aligning ourselves to. I keep going into Saturn retrograde. Well, let me stay on the Jupiter energy. Come on, Jupiter, work with me, do it for me. But we're beginning to prepare a more abundant lifestyle for ourselves. And I'm going to do this in a separate video. I did go into this in my group about an abundant mindset versus a poverty-driven mindset. These are some things that we definitely need to be evaluating in these times. Like, what mindset do you have? So I'll go into that in another video. I don't want to make this video too long, but we're beginning to come into a place where we can discover our gifts, our innate gifts that we've always had. You know, like we're beginning to realize that, again, everything is inside of us. Like, we may have been feeling a bit dead, especially for the last few years. Like, what is it that I'm meant to do? Like, where do I fit in the world? Like, what is my puzzle piece that I'm meant to contribute towards humanity, towards this big picture? Like, am I just an ordinary person? And whereas, you know, not everybody will have like big, massive purposes, but, you know, it's about understanding that your puzzle piece is just as important as anyone else's. No matter how big or how small your purpose is, your purpose could be looking after children, and you could be doing that so well to where you make a massive impact on the children that you work with, to where they may become like the biggest, you know, next President Obama, and then you're on HBO or one of them programs, Lifetime. Anyway, I don't really mess with Lifetime, but anyway, you might be on one of those programs like, yeah, I taught this person, and you know, like, that might be your purpose. Like, don't downgrade your purpose. Your purpose, there's a man that I see every day in my local co-op, and he's a security guard, but every time I walk in, every time I come out, he's like, oh, how are you doing? Are you doing well? Hello, sister. And his energy is so beautiful, and it doesn't matter if I'm feeling down that day, if I'm feeling uplifted. I had to go and say to him, I was like, you know what, your energy is so beautiful, and thank you for reminding me of humanity, because, you know, sometimes you just need someone to just, you know, just be a human sometimes, you know. Like, it's not every day like be an asshole. Some days be human. So yeah, we're beginning to regain our perspective of what is it that we want, what direction that we want to go down, and we're beginning to see things in a new light. Like, oh my gosh, like, I had this, this is my theme song for Jupiter retrograde and Saturn retrograde. Like, I've been going through and I've been like, stay in the light, stay in the light, stay in the light. And I've been like literally stay in the light. That if that's what it took, yeah, to get that message in your head, then it's okay. But this is about staying in the light, like staying in your true authentic self, like making sure that you're never compromising on what is it that you know you're meant to be doing, you know who you're supposed to be with. Okay, because a lot of this energy is bringing up relationships and really defining if that's the type of a relationship that you really want to align yourself with, you know. That's another video for another day. But we're beginning to even rediscover previously missed blessings that we may have overlooked. And this is something that's really true for me, because I've literally come into a place where I'm becoming a bit of a business nerd, where I'm just like completely studying business, like YouTube videos, business, marketing. And I'm just like, this is really, really interesting. This is really fascinating to me. And now I kind of wish that I did do a job in marketing or in business or something like that when I was younger. But you know, I had my path. I was doing music. I had very minimal corporate jobs, and there was a period of time where I couldn't work at all, as I was paralyzed, and I had very intensive health issues, and that's another video for another day. But I've begun to realize what is it that I've always what abilities I've always had in me all along. And I remember having people say things to me and being like, you do this naturally, like you need to, you know, like really capitalize on this. Like when I built my old Instagram, which is still there, Namz_Elliott, I think it is, which was my music profile. I built that like real quick, like, and I don't know what I was doing. And so my manager at the time, he was like, yeah, it's easy to work with you because you're just like, you naturally market yourself without having to think about marketing. And now I'm like trying to figure out, like, how can I get back to that level of authenticity? How can I bring that element of myself back out? And I guess this is what Mercury retrograde was all about. And this is something that's collective. This isn't just for me. This is something that is a collective experience for us all. So we're beginning to regain clarity of where we're supposed to be going forward, and how we're meant to go forward as well, and how we can fulfill our goals, and what achievements do you want to be able to achieve. Like, what is it that you actually want to achieve? I've been having this real deep sense of achievement for me since last year. And from I gave birth and my child was 6 weeks pregnant after my C-section and all that kind of trauma that I was going through, I put myself down and I was like, I'm going to study. And right now, like, we've got like, I don't even know how many courses I've done in between that, and qualifications I've been able to get for myself to be able to improve myself, to create this path of abundance for myself, where I'm even able to give you guys information. You know, I really wanted to solidify myself, but I also wanted to make sure that I was getting the right accreditations, because as much as I have all this information and as much as a lot of my stuff was done through self-study, I wanted to make sure that I could be accredited for my work, and I wasn't just, you know, going through the whim and just doing things willy-nilly. I wanted to be able to learn how to do things properly. So that's what that was. So yeah, we're taking time to study self, to study things that will help us to get through. And I feel that, and also Jupiter retrograde, this is a time, if you're religious, this is probably a time when you get deeper into your religion. If you're more into science, you're more atheist, this is probably a time when you're digging more into your science. If you're more into spirituality, this is a time when you're digging more into that, and you just really want to understand what this is all about, and really connect deeply. So this Jupiter retrograde was all about learning to find out, what is it that makes us happy? Like, where does our joy lie? Like, what is it that really makes us feel fulfilled? What types of relationships make us feel fulfilled, that we will feel fulfilled in? What career do we want to feel fulfilled in? What type of home environment do we want to create for us to feel fulfilled? Like, what does that look like for you? And we're forced to begin to look at the bigger picture of our lives, and not focus on the little diggy detail things. Like, you often realize that the little things don't matter that much. Like, and that's something, especially for me, I've been realizing, and any of my Virgos and, you know, Gemini moons and any of those type of energies, you don't understand exactly what I'm talking about in terms of that overthinking. So yeah, so this may be a time where a lot of you may have taken a decision to go more into holistic practices, into life coaching, or taking up life coaching, or taking more holistic practices or therapy. This may have been a time where you've felt an urge to learn more about yourself through astrology or numerology, or human design, or any other type of modalities that look into your divine blueprints, because this is a time when you're like, I really need to look at I really need to have an understanding of the obstacles that are creating my blockages, so that I can learn how to remove them. That's what that's all about. So you're beginning to evaluate, do you love your job? Like, the job that you're in, do you really love your job? Like, do you really love what you do? And if you do love what you do, are you loving it how it's working right now? And if you're not liking it like that, what is it that you need to do to make things better? And this is something that's been happening with me. And for those who do know, I had started an aromatherapy business, which was good, you know, but I found that as much as I was doing that, it didn't fully fulfill me. And it still will be a thing that I'll bring back. I mean, the time it's been very intense as I've been studying. I'm still a mom. I've been trying to do Soul-Reconnection, like, and now things have just become even more busy. It's like, okay, I'm trying to really take things a step at a time here. But I've been learning how to make myself more fulfilled in what is it, in understanding what is it that I want to present to the world, and how does it best work for me, in my own circumstances of being a mother, and having my own physical ailments with my conditions and stuff. So this is a time where you probably want to evaluate, have you been in a codependent relationship or a co-creative relationship? Because the two are very different, and one is expansive and one is destructive. One holds or binds each other to each other, and it doesn't allow you to expand. It keeps you stuck in this karmic loop. So it's a time when you want to be meditating and digging deep and beginning to understand what is that. What states are your relationships in? It doesn't only mean your loving relationships, but also your family relationships, your personal relationships, your business relationships. Like, really evaluate them and begin to evaluate, is this what you genuinely want? So this is where you want to ask yourself, what is your truth and what are you willing to do to defend it? Okay, Sagittarius is that archer and it's ready to, defend its truth, because it knows its truth. It knows what it's had to go through to get that truth. Although sometimes it may not have the fullness to kind of, it might not have all the detail. It might just be a passionate type idea or philosophy or opinion or truth to them. Truth is relative. And yes, this is contextual, but truth is relative, and we need to begin to understand that everyone's perspective is different. But what is your truth and what means true to you? It doesn't have to mean true to anyone else, but what means true to you. As long as you understand that, then you're all good. So as it's going direct tomorrow, it's powerful energies, and it's everything. It's almost like, I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. And it's like, yeah, you can move forward more clearly, more gracefully. And it's not to say that it's still not going to be a bit of hard work. Saturn is still in Capricorn, but you're definitely going to feel that shift, that lift, and that inspiration, that motivation. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what we can all create from this energy. Like, this is energy for us to begin to alchemize and transform. And this is what I say in all the time. Astrology is not here to dictate what our lives are supposed to be like. It's for us to receive the influences and learn that we can begin to manipulate these influences to create the best path for ourselves. We can also do that for negative reasons as well, so be careful of that. But I'm hoping that this video was informative for you. Let me know, comment below. Let me know what your Jupiter retrograde has been like. What have you been learning? Like, what position are you in? Let me know if there's anyone who's been changing careers or going for this career shift. I'd really love to hear from you guys, or I'd love to hear from everyone, not just selective, but definitely love to hear from you guys anyway. Just a reminder to let you know that the Intuitive Chakra Healing course is out now. It's currently at 50% discount. And you can find the course on my website, which is www.soul-reconnection.com. You can find the link below. And this is a powerful course. We're on the root chakra week at the moment, and it's been really, really powerful for me. There's been a lot that's been awakening. I've been very, very connected to the earth. So I've actually been picking up when the earthquakes and when the storms have been coming, and not even knowing, and then watching and seeing everyone post up things, and I've been like, oh, okay, this is what I was feeling. So it's definitely a very, very powerful awakening course that is, I'm doing it myself, as I'm doing it as a 7-week challenge. It's something that I like to do multiple times a year, just to make sure that I'm in alignment. And this is Lionsgate energy, so moving in line with that clarity and that awakening and that DNA activation. This is the perfect time to be doing that. So definitely see the link below. And if you do need any natal chart readings for you to be able to understand your more about yourself, this is about self-discovery, understanding how you react and how you can how to master your emotions in terms of your relation, how you relate with people, what is it you're meant to be doing, your karmic influences. All of these things can be discovered in your chart. And if you need synastry readings, being able to compare your charts to other people, whether it be your partner, your children, understanding what are the dynamic challenges that are happening between you. You can also purchase those readings off my website, soul-reconnection.com. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video if this resonates with you. And yeah, get on it, guys. Like, this is amazing. So I'll see you guys in my next video real soon.